Simon, you and I spoke about this yesterday. Danny, first chance we've had to put it to you. Nuno's sacking, that's one thing. Ange's appointment. What do you make of it all?
Well, I mean, a couple of weeks ago when we first heard Nuno's comments, I think Simon and I were in agreement that that's probably the end, or looking likely. I didn't think he'd come back from that, and he hasn't. I was a little bit surprised at Ange, just because of the complete contrast. I like him. I mean, he's warm, he's likeable, he's great at talking, he gives us something, I think. But from a footballing perspective, I would imagine we'll see a little bit of a difference. I don't think he's going to be as predictable as he was before. He showed at the end of his tenure at Tottenham that he has the ability to adapt and change, and it gave him some success. So I think, like anybody who's reasonably intelligent while working and doing any job, you learn each time you go to a new environment and a new club, and you listen. And you don't think you're right. You learn as you progress and improve. So I think it could be a good thing in some ways for Forest to play a bit differently, especially now that they've now got this strength in depth in attacking areas. They've spent a lot of money on some flair players. Marinakis owns the club. He wants to see them play a bit differently. Fair enough. Give it a go.
Do you think they'll be less gung-ho under Ange than they were at Tottenham?
I think we'll see an adaptation of what Tottenham were. I think there'll be certain games where they'll go hell for leather if they think they can dominate someone at home who's of lesser quality. But I think if he was to go in there and do exactly the same thing and be steadfast with that and not adaptable, he won't be there that long, because that would be crazy. Forest, on paper, have got a decent squad, but certainly not able to compete toe for toe with the big boys. In a footballing contest, they'll get done. But they've now got this quality in their squad that they haven't had for a long, long time. So it makes sense for them to play a bit more adventurous and a bit more creatively. So I hope he finds that balance. The key to good management when you don't have all the best players in the world is finding various ways to win football matches. Thomas Frank, probably the best example of that at Brentford I saw over a period of the last couple of years in terms of changing the way he played for different opposition. So I think he will have learned. I think we'll see Forest become more on the front foot, yes, but not to a cavalier point where they become Tottenham. I don't see that. He'd be absolutely crazy to
Simon, Marinakis has got high hopes. We're bringing a coach to the club who has a proven and consistent record of winning trophies.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I was thinking about it in isolation yesterday after the show. First of all, I think the more I think about it, the more I think that Nuno Espirito Santo engineered his departure so that he got paid on the way out, because I think he'd reached the end of the road for various reasons. And maybe some of that's Edu, maybe some of that's the situation with Marinakis, and the fact that Marinakis was courting other people. Second of all, what do Forest playing in this year? What does Marinakis think he can win this year? He thinks he can win the Europa League. He thinks he can win the Europa League. He can deliver a European title to Nottingham Forest and make good on his promises. You've seen the model. You've seen how he plays in Europe. If Marinakis is in a situation where he wants to deliver a trophy, which he does, there is no quicker way to do it now, because they can win this Europa League, Nottingham Forest. It's
possible, yeah.
And somebody going into that, we've seen him do it. He did it last year with Spurs.
They've got a lot of squad size.
Why wouldn't Forest go and win the Europa League?
Couldn't they have won it with Nuno?
Well, I don't think
possibly.
I think possibly he could, but the fact of the matter is, my point is that I don't think, when I first listened to it, I was calling, and did it yesterday again, calling Nuno Espirito Santo a fool for making these observations. What do you expect the outcome to be? Now, he's not a fool. So if he's not a fool, then why did he do it? And he did it, I believe, to engineer an outcome, which is potentially, if you don't like it, Nuno, why don't you resign? If he resigns, then he's going to get himself a situation where he doesn't get paid. If he engineers a situation where he gets fired because there's a whole raft of things going on, because he doesn't want to work in this environment, he doesn't want to work here, he gets paid.
Yeah.
So I think there's an element of that going on. But Postecoglou has now been brought in the door for whatever reason, whether it's a style of football issue, and it may well be that art imitates life. And we've got a situation where what happened last year and what he curated at Spurs last year happens exactly again at Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest do not finish 7th in the league next year. They finish 17th. Or 15th, or 16th, or 14th, and they go and win European competition. But Marinakis will be cock at a walk, because he's delivered a European trophy to Nottingham Forest, which was what he said he would do.
All the way back at Wembley in 2022, when Nottingham Forest got to the Premier League, I went into a suite where Marinakis was post-match. Forest had gone up to the top flight, and it was only and all about trophies.
It's a magic moment. We are back, and now we go for trophies. Nothing is impossible for me. If you see what I have done in my life, you see that nothing is impossible.
So what can Nottingham Forest do now that they are back? What do you think?
You have to be patient and see, but be ready for trophies.
Now, he was super emotional then, Simon, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
But it's still the same brief from him. Trophies.
But the thing about him, like him or loathe him, and Nottingham Forest will like him a lot because he's the fans, and that's what people have been saying in the studio. And one of our own presenters, Max, who's a Nottingham Forest fan, talks about the fact that, you know, we love him and we'll trust his judgment, because you can't not trust his judgment. He delivered you the Holy Grail out of the wilderness of football, outside of the Premier League for 23 years, back in the Premier League now, and I'm going to deliver you trophies. And not only has he said he's going to do it, he's written cheques out to do it. And he's also gone to war with the establishment. I'm not having this, I'm not having that, I'm not having this, I'm not having that. I'm going to get, whether you agree that I'm going to have a referee in because we think we're being ganged up on, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do what I want, but I'm going to back it. And he's backed it again this summer. He spent another 250 million euros on players. Okay, he's had 100 odd million coming in.
So you admire him?
I admire somebody that says what they're going to go and then puts their money where their mouths are. You can't not. I don't admire some of the things that come out of his mouth. I'd be interesting to see what happens if he rocks on a pitch and waves his finger at Ange Postecoglou and see how that one plays out.
He's got gumption, hasn't he? He's got a bit about him. He likes what he says and says what he likes.
See, some clubs are just happy to cling on to life in the Premier League.
Yeah, the thing is, Jim...
You're always going on about Palace.
Jim,
but that's Parish, they've become established in the Premier League. Yeah, great. Marinakis,
he wants
that and then that.
Yeah, and that's... maybe he's got more money. He certainly hasn't got more money than David Blitzer and Josh Harris, so it's interesting that Palace don't make more money available. That's the observation at Texter. Parish ain't got any money to make available, so it's not Parish's call in the same way that it wasn't Daniel Levy's call. Daniel Levy didn't have any dough, with due respect to Daniel's wealth, to be able to make Tottenham fly faster and longer. That was Joe Lewis's responsibility, or a funder around them.
This ain't just about trophies. So style of play keeps coming up, and it's been partly.
This one is about trophies.
I think style of play is where football's changed for quite a long time now, where fan bases, maybe Pep's brought it in, maybe it was Klopp, whoever, but fans now don't just want results. They want to be entertained. They want to see attacking football. I'm not saying...
But Marinakis sniffs a trophy here.
Fine. But if you think of... Leicester weren't in a relegation zone when Cooper was in charge, but the style wasn't good enough. When I was at Charlton, Curbs got a bit of stick for the style, but Charlton were always in the top half of the... You know, you had Moisey at West Ham, won a trophy, but... Oh, you know, it's negatives, pragmatic.
But Forest were... I thought
Mourinho at United.
I thought Forest were a good watch last year. Didn't you?
Yeah, but they were a counter-attack side.
Yeah, they were a counter-attacking side. But
I enjoyed watching them, absolutely. I'm not criticising
I get bored of possession-based football, pass. Yes, it's beautiful on the eye, and sometimes it's great to watch.
I do, but I'm on about...
dynamic counter-attacking is also
I'm with you. I love varying... Yeah. But what I'm talking about is the fan bases generally, it feels now. Yeah. They're not just happy for some results. I'm not saying Forest fans want it. Forest fans love him. I'm not saying Forest fans per se, but... Yeah. Mate, there is this thing generally with fans now where it's like we want to be entertained.
These Forest fans will be like dogs with two proverbials if they go and win the Europa League.
Yes.
However they play.
Another great analogy.
Well, in 2022, you say it's all about trophies. It's all about trophies. I remember it well, trying to chase him around the suite at Wembley when he was talking to me, Marinakis. And then yesterday...
Do you normally chase men around stadiums?
Yes, indeed. Especially Greek men. We now must take the right step to compete with the very best and challenge for trophies. Forest fans, are you up for this? Marinakis says, yeah, we've got Ange and Nuno's gone, but the reason is this. We're going to win a trophy. Under Ange, that is where we're going. Our hearts are set in it. So now you know the vision. Can Ange deliver on the remit?